What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today I'm going to be going over this blue car that I've got here. It is a 14, I believe it is, GT, and we're doing a VMP Gen 3R supercharger, oil pump gears, crank, sprocket. I think that's about it. Then we got to do tuning, and I believe that's it. So having said that, I have already been into this thing, and we've got the cover off of it. Got the oil pump gears done, got the crank sprocket done, timing chain guides done, all that stuff. Everything was replaced, all the new stuff went onto it, and everything was smooth. We started doing part of the blower install, and I decided that I was going to back up and take everything back off and restart so that I could show you guys how to go to. I'm just kidding. I wasn't actually going to do that. We cut the timing cover, and I had the wrong instructions at the time, and it was for a different VMP kit. My mistake, I guess, and I ended up cutting the timing cover and cutting one of the bosses off that holds an idler originally from the factory, and the new bracketry actually used that. So I totally wasted a ton of time, had to take everything back off and start over. So now I am going to bring you guys into this, and you can follow along with me on this install. We are going to put the timing cover on it. All the other stuff's already done. The oil pump gears are still done. The timing chain cover's already got the other one over here. Billet oil pump gears done, all that stuff, engines retimed, all of it's good to go. Spark plugs are already changed, but that's it. Other than that, I've done nothing else. So continuing on from this point on, you guys can see the whole rest of the install, from me putting the timing cover on, to installing the blower, to the heat exchanger, to getting this whole thing done. So I want to take you guys along with me, but you can kind of see that this install is not going to be super bad. We've already at least mounted the heat exchanger just to see how everything was going to line up, because you have to cut part of the block, which I'll go ahead and show you now. Actually, probably a good idea. And you can see there's no timing cover on it. Oil pumps, or the water pumps off of it right now. Here's your oil pump. There's your billet crank gear from MMR. The oil pump gears are inside that housing. There's your new chains and guides, tensioners, new gears. Water pump goes here, obviously. But here's where you have to cut the block. So I actually cut it right there where VMP's instructions stated to. And it was actually a bit excessive. You didn't need to cut that much, but that's fine because it's not hurting anything. This is the new neck that comes with the VMP kit, and we did have to use another bolt that I had. I did not find another bolt in the kit anywhere. So having said that, I want to buckle down on this thing and get to rolling. It's hot in this mug. All right, so got the cover back on, valve covers on, cool pack on, got the tensioner for the blower, tensioner for the normal belt, pulleys, alternator, all that stuff's done. Now, the one thing I didn't do so far, which you may notice here in a second, I didn't put the water pump pulley on, but the water pump itself is installed. Now, of this bracketry stuff that's going on here, because you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff. Let me zoom out here so you can see a little clearer. This here is going to be the new tensioner that comes with the VMP kit. New pulley that comes with the VMP kit. This is the boss that it mounts to. I totally cut it off this other cover by following a different set of instructions, as you can see there. Sawed it off, sawed that off, cut that. Turns out you only have to cut that third one that you just seen, which is where this bracket mounts. Now you can see that here, it's been trimmed. You don't have to trim it as much as we trimmed it, but you know, we did. So we're here now, just like the back of the block here. The water pump has, the part of the water pump here, we cut this part of the block as well. Now, that stuff there was stuff that you all had to cut. You had to cut that block to clear the heat exchanger, which will be going on soon, I hope. What I'm going to do at this point here is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go rewatch the instructions. I'm going to come back, and we're going to continue to knock this out. And hopefully tonight we will see it with the VMP blower on it. If not, we'll do it tomorrow, I guess. Well, it's been a couple of days. I'm getting back on this. I've had some family stuff to do and whatnot. I also finally got a new set of wheels for the truck. Now, those of you that know me, those of you that don't won't know, the welds that I bought for the truck I already posted up for sale to let them go. My reason being, if I'm going to start racing the 2-valve, and I've got the Camaro to work on as well, I have zero reason to use the truck I tow customer cars with and our cars and stuff to race it. And it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. In fact, I was thinking about selling and getting a diesel, and that's still, I guess that's still an option, but I don't know right now. So right now I decided I'm gonna quit playing around with that, and so I traded the wheels. So we went from this to these. Now, me personally, I despise black wheels. I hate them. I especially hate them on a darker colored car, but I think the blue on this truck is just bright enough to kind of pull it off. Guy sent me the picture of them, and I was like, all right, you got me. I'm interested. So value-wise, they cost the same to buy new. Those had brand new wheels and tires. These were brand new wheels and tires I only used a couple of times, so it worked out. Now, anyways, moving on past that, we're going to jump back into Gavin's Mustang, getting this VMP kit installed. I did have to pull the blower back off, which I did just now while I was letting my phone charge. And the reason why I pulled it off is I did not put the fuel rails on first. We've got to put the fuel rails on and run the fuel line behind the blower itself. So that crossover line will go on, and then there's another harness or two I've got to put on first, and then we put the blower back on it. So let's get into it and let's get this thing done. All right, got the blower the rest of the way on. Everything's bolted down. The harnesses are all run. One for the throttle body, one for the evap, the one for the IAT sensor. All that stuff is routed backwards. We've got the pulley on. Feels good. Everything's looking good. The fuel rails are done now. It has the adapters right here that goes to the stock fuel lines. Got all that stuff. Now there's still some vacuum lines to figure out. We've got the belt ready to go now. So that's another step we're getting ready to do. And as of right now, I think we're looking pretty decent on this thing. So I'm just gonna keep on chucking along and see where we can get. So after a lot of trials and tribulations and finding out that you got to tap the IAT sensor into the bottom connector, you have to do this and that. The intercooler relay and stuff ties into a sensor on the back of the head, which is really weird. You can see those two orange wires there, or a orange wire at least. After getting all that stuff done, we can now pretty much turn the key on and the intercooler pump will run. I'm gonna add some more coolant to it though, because it just turned on a second ago and was trying to throw it out, as you can see there. So let's add us a little more. Because she's a spicy unit. All right, let's try that, Paul. Let's see if that's gonna spit it out. Yeah, I'm ready to put the lid back on it.
Yep.
Let's go. Woo! And she's a zooming. Turn our cap around forward. Turn this cap around forward. You can hear them fans running on the heat exchanger. We've got to get the bumper back on it. And I think that's it. I think it's just the bumper. And then we are done. Minus tuning. We're still waiting on a tune. So, on the home stretch. Almost there. Let's get it. Got it buttoned up. I'm pretty sure this thing is 100% done, minus tuning. We're waiting on the tuning now, so she's a little stiff. We are good to go. Let's get this thing out and on to the next one. We're gonna go ahead and get the tuning stuff situated this week, so come back if you guys want to check out the next video that we're gonna put out of us driving and getting to get a couple miles on this VMP setup and get our first impressions and take of this thing. I'm super excited. I've driven some Whipple cars, driven some Century cars, owned a Century car that was pretty nasty, so very excited to see where the power band really comes in with this thing. It should be a fantastic curve. This thing's supposed to be well known for making really good power, really good torque. It is going to be on 11 pounds. We got a couple other things that we're going to add later on. He's bringing us a boost gauge, and so we're going to add a boost gauge inside the car and stuff so that he can monitor that. It should make around 11 pounds on this setup according to the tuner, and it should be somewhere around 650 wheels. Should be a pretty rowdy street car. So like always, like, comment, subscribe, come back, check us out. Let us know if you want to see the video of this car of us taking it out on the street and getting some actual logs and some fun runs in and see how this thing actually runs. I'm sure that the guy is going to be extremely stoked to have this car back. So like always, make better choices, and we'll catch you next time.